Palmistry reading of a male whose age is 42 years old. We would be reading his hand. Before we start the video, request you to press the bell icon on YouTube. Don't miss another update. To get a reading from me, you can call me or you can email me. These are the phone number mentioned out here. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image that we have in front of us, and his age is 42 right now. So I will be explaining each and every aspect of the palm, the important lines on the palm that the person has, and everybody basically wants to know about success. And to see success on the hand, normally generally people think that we have to look at the money line. This is the money line. Any line going towards the mount of Saturn is the money line. People think this is one of the most important lines to refer to regarding success, but in my case I have got a little bit different opinion. I say that each and every line in your palm, each and every line in your palm can talk about success or failure, and we have to give some reason or the other to come to the conclusion, and that reasoning that we give should be very easy to understand to our clients, so that they basically understand and accept the reasoning as well. So in my case, I don't give too much of importance to the money line. Money line importance in terms of money is just 10 or 15%. I give more importance to the heart line. This is the heart line. The heart line is generally perceived to be the line for emotions, the line for relationship, and your love life. But I have tried to correlate the line of heart to your success. So people who have a simple kind of a heart line that we see out here signifies that the person can handle stress very well, stress and anxiety very well. The heartline also talks about if a person is flirtatious or if the person is focused. So a simple line without any breaks signify that the person can handle stress. Some people, they have got island like formations out here. Some people, they have got something like a heart line, and then there are branches downward. So a person is flirtatious and distracted. We don't find these kind of lines, any prominent line that are branching downwards towards the headline. So it signifies that the person is able to focus their energies, and a person who can focus their energies are the ones who ultimately are the most successful people. It is said, Bhagavad Gita says that you have to practice detachment, and detachment doesn't mean that detaching yourself from your family and your friends and detaching from all the worldly things. It is basically, detachment basically means being in the moment without having expectation of the outcome. So this particular person, to a large extent, like practices detachment. So a person who practices detachment, the chances for their success increases because they are highly focused. And the heartline that ends under the mount of Saturn, this is the mount of Saturn. Saturn basically signifies money, possessions and wealth. And when the heartline is kind of ending under the mount of Saturn, it signifies that the person's heart is angling towards responsibility and money and possessions. So people who have their heartline end under the mount of Saturn signify that these people are extremely responsible, they are grounded, they manage money very well, and they have got very good money management abilities, and they are wise also, because Saturn is all about responsibility and wisdom as well. So you don't find too many crisscrossing lines on the mount of Saturn. That's the reason why I say that mount of Saturn is good, and the heartline is ending on the mount of Saturn, signifying that the person angles towards money. So people who value money are the ones who ultimately are able to multiply the money, and this particular aspect is there right throughout a person's life, not necessarily only in 1 year. So this is one of the best indications. So most businessmen, they have their heartline end under the mount of Saturn. It need not be that this person is a businessman, but people even in service, see, even in service you have to do best for your company. So people who have their heartline end under the mount of Saturn are the ones who get the best deal for their company. They are kind of, they like multiply the wealth for themselves as well as for the company they are working for. So this is one way of looking at it. So For money, wherever you have to look at the Saturn area, and Saturn area is good. So but apart from Saturn area, you have to have other planets also in like there should be some good sign or the other on the other planets or the other mounts as well. So the other important area to refer to is the mount of Mercury. Basically Mercury is the planet for communication, calculation, skill, everything related to skill. It could be statistics, economics, biology, chemistry, law, physics, anything, and writing abilities. So if the person has got these perpendicular lines, you would notice that they are perpendicular lines. These lines that you see out here, these are the lines for skill. Strong line means strong set of skills, weak line means weak set of skills. But it is important that there should not be any confusing kind of lines over the mount of Mercury. If there are confusing line, it means miscalculation and miscommunication. But out here, this particular person never miscalculates and never miscommunicates. So people who don't miscalculate or miscommunicate are the ones whose chance for success increase, and the person is also sharpening the skills. If these lines were a little bit more deeper lines basically give more depth to the skill the person basically has. So in a way, there are no bad markings over the mount of Mercury, but still I would suggest that the person needs to sharpen their skills even further. And even on the left hand, you would notice that there are perpendicular, not one line but multiple lines. Palmistry book says that a person who has got many perpendicular lines over the mount of Mercury, that person is likely to be a good doctor. But in my case, I don't say that the person needs to be a doctor or a healer. He could just have multiple set of skills. Each line signifies one independent different kind of skills that the person might be having in his life. Now we move on to another very important aspect, that is the first finger. The first finger is the finger for administration. The pointing finger, this is the finger for administration, religion, politics and honor. And if there are less lines over it, it's automatically a good sign. Less line is always good. And specifically if there are, this is the lifeline, and their upward line pointing towards the mount of Jupiter, this is considered to be a beautiful sign. Jupiter is basically a big planet. Big planet basically means growth, expansion, honor in your life. And if from the mount of Jupiter a line originates and joins the lifeline, it signifies that the person's life is going to be getting guided by Jupiter. And getting guided by Jupiter basically signify that the person is likely to always have expansion, growth in their mind. So this is one of the best indications for people who reach to a high position. If we look closely, you would find that this is the headline, and there are few backward kind of lines out here pointing towards the mount of Mars. So this is the area we'll be talking about. So I'll just remove all the lines and just redraw those lines. This is the money line and this is the line of head. So this intersection where both lines cross, this age is 35. So this age is 35. So these lines moving backwards towards the mount of Mars signify some amount of hardships coming to the person probably before the age of 35 due to anger, aggression. Another aspect that can be seen is that the money line kind of ends on the headline. This is the headline, and a new line basically develops. So somewhere at the age of 35, many changes might have taken place in his life. A money line that kind of ends on the headline, there are 2 or 3 indications that the person might have in their life. One could be that there could be some business loss or job loss or something or the other happening at the age of 35. The other thing could be that the main earning member of the family their health or wealth goes bad, so more responsibility comes onto this particular person's head somewhere close to the age of 35. So this original line that is starting, that is kind of ending after the age of 35, so somewhere close to the age of 40, 41, the line is ending, but another line develops somewhere close to the age of 35, and that basically continues and kind of ends on the heart line. This is the heart line. The money line ends out here, so somewhere close to the age of 53, 55, this work also stops, and another one basically develops somewhere after the age of 53. There's a V or a Y-like portion pointing towards the Saturn finger. This is considered to be a good sign. It signifies that more resources, better things happening somewhere close to the age of 55, 56. That's approximate age. As far as the as far as the sun line goes, this is the sun line. This is known as the carrier line. You would notice that the line of sun is a little bit shaky, a little bit wavy kind. Between the age of 35, this is the headline and this is the heart line. So the age is on the intersection of the sun and the headline. This age is 35. This age is on the heart line and the sun line intersection. This is 53. So between the age of 35 to 53, you would notice that the line of sun is not so deep and clear. It is quite weak. A weak sun line basically is something like deep clouds in the sky. It basically signifies probably there might be doubts and self-doubt within this particular person. That's a reason why the person would not be able to reach to the potential. After the age of 53, you would notice that the line of sun basically becomes much deeper and clear. That signifies that that there are no clouds in the sky, and that's the reason why the work is going to shine. Some people call the line of sun to be the luck line. Some people call as the name and fame line. I just call this line to be the how much energies we are able to give to our work. So you notice that probably the sun line is not so good, but this does not mean that the person can't be successful. So don't think that these lines need to be present. Many billionaires, they don't have a sunline at all. Don't think that sunline is utter necessary. Only then the person is going to be successful. Absence of the sunline could also mean super amount of success. So we are not just looking at one line to come to the conclusion. In the starting of the reading, I mentioned the heart line. This is very good in his hand. Apart from this, I mentioned the line of Mercury, these upward lines towards the mount of Jupiter. These days, many people are talking about a M sign. M sign is basically a fake sign, so I would not be talking about it. This is in no way like no way mentioned in any book, so it's a useless kind of a sign, and it has got no basis for it. That's the reason why I would not talk about it at all. Better than M signs are these Mercury lines, simple lines of heart, these upward lines. These are excellent signs, and that's how people reach to a high position. So we talk about the lifeline. Now the life is the life energies and stamina and vitality. If the line of life is good, automatically it converts into better prospects coming to this particular person in his life. Better health, and better health gets converted into more desires, and more desires basically get converted into a person being able to do more things. So the area of Venus, this is the area of Venus and this is the area of Mars. Both these areas should be good. By good we mean no unnecessary kind of lines, and no unnecessary kind of lines going horizontally and striking the lifeline or the headline or the money line or these kind of lines. So you notice that there were few lines out here crossing over somewhere close to the age of 35, 40, or probably out here these as well, but these are not very strong kind of horizontal lines that are crossing over. So that's the reason why the importance of these lines are not too great. So we don't give too much of importance to these horizontal kind of lines that we are seeing. These are comparatively weaker lines, so we can easily avoid them, and we can basically continue with this simple kind of a reading. So lifeline that is making a reasonably big semicircle means More Venus, bigger service area for Venus means more desires, and more desires means that the person would not get tired easily, and a person who doesn't get tired, the person is going to work hard, and the person might fail 5-6 times, but still the person still has the energy and stamina to try another time. Like even see some people, they fail once or twice and they basically just sit down and they say that I have retired, but this person is not likely to get to retire anytime. You'd also notice that this is the lifeline. There's a parallel kind of a line running out here. This is called the Mars line, and Mars line makes a person a fighter, gives fighting abilities and the spark. The life can stop at any moment for anybody, but if they can re-spark their life, the chances for their success increases. Although the quality of this Mars line is not so great, but the line is running parallel to the lifeline continuously throughout the life, so in that way it is basically good. You just take a few look at the other hand images that the person has sent me. Generally, if we find that there are less lines over the palm, less lines is always better than more lines on the palm. And the structure of the hand, by the structure of the hand we mean the bone structure in the fingers and the padding over the mouth. If that is reasonably good, it signifies that the person is able to the person is rich in content, and the person is kind of have a better hold over people, money and resources in their life. So good structured hand basically are like pillar strength in their company or in their family as well. So in both ways it is good. You would notice that in the left hand the money line is kind of originating on the Mount of Moon and moving somewhere out here. So this basically signifies that the person might gain staying far away from their birthplace or near water or water related, or it could be just trading or activity or service industry. It has this particular meaning. There appears to be a money triangle like formation out here. So the money triangle formation age at which the money triangle is forming on the money line is approximately somewhere close to this particular point, and this age is approximately on the money line is approximately 30. That's the approximate, I would say. You would notice that in the left hand there's a reasonably okay kind of a sun line, but it's still not so strong. But beyond the heartline and below the finger, the line is very distinct and clear. And a person who has any person, you don't have to have a sun line this long, and it doesn't have correlate with that much amount of success. You just need to have a simple line under the Mount of sun. That itself says everything, and it signifies that the person would never retire and the person would remain useful to what basically they are doing in their life and productive in their life, and they would certainly get name and fame also in their life. Same case in the left hand also, the money line is ending somewhere close to the age of 35, new one developing, and that also basically ends somewhere in the middle of the head and the heart. So this age is approximately 44, and then new one basically develops, and that continues till late age. So there are two or three parallel lines out here. So parallel lines or two lines of money doesn't mean double money. It just means some kind of a support system that is there in this particular person's life, and it could be dual income, it could be parallel income, it could be just a support system that the person has. And as far as the mount, you would notice that the lifeline is making a huge semicircle. Huge semicircle means huge amount of desires. So this is one of the best aspects. You don't even have to look at the money line to see for success. A big semicircle means more success. Imagine the line of life something like this, that means more, less Mars and less Venus means less fire and less fuel. A bigger semicircle means more fire and more fuel. Still bigger semicircle means more fire and still more fuel in the person's life. So Venus is all about energy, stamina and vitality and the desires, and Mars is all about the fire within this particular person. So this is what I see. 35 age might have been a turning point in the person's life. It could have brought about many troubles also, and few changes also of different kinds. Sometimes a break in the money line on the somewhere in the middle. Sometimes this could also like bring about hardships in the person's personal life as well. So even if the personal life is disturbed, let's imagine if the personal life is disturbed but the person doesn't take stress and anxiety. This is a simple hardline. The person is able to handle stress and still concentrate on their work. So there's a good balance between the head and the heartline. So a very predictable kind of a person. So predictable kind of a person, good Venus means a very warm kind of a person. So these qualities are there, and appears to be a strange kind of a skin pattern, not the lines, just a skin pattern. We find a little bit different on the Mars area, the skin pattern we talk about, and the Venus area. So Mars and Venus may have become very prominent in his life. So something related that Mars is for fight and Venus is for love and beauty and grace and desires. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this particular video. Before ending this video, I just repeat few things that I repeat in almost all my videos. That is, we can come to know about money from almost all aspects of our hand. It could be our heartline, our headline, life, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line in our palm. And importance of money line is just 15% in how much money we would make in our life. And a saint once said, you don't need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you're doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company. That's what matters the most. If you have got bad company, even the best of hand can make huge amount of mistakes. And if you have got good company, the negative aspects can get totally destroyed. Negative, like if you are in a good company, then even if your hand is not good, even then things are going to happen good in your life. So that's it for this particular hand. And I just need to add one more thing. People think that you need to have very special kind of signs, very special kind of signs, something like a swastik or a lotus, or these kind of very rare signs. Only then they are going to be hugely successful. Even a simple hand does mean huge amount of success depending upon where they are targeting. So that's all. Bye and take care.